Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take a look on my 2021 reading year and setting my goals for 2022.
Another party, another Friday night, another talk that might turn into a fight. Too many faces you only see online. Too many cases of faking by design. Wake up every morning just to go right back to sleep. Text everyone you already know you'll never meet. Dance alone around your room and get down to the beat. Wanna change the world, 21 and feeling old. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the way. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Another movie, another neon light, another way to forget the life outside. Too many places you only see online. Love yourself, you can't be beat. But honesty is scary, so you go and hit delete. Wake up every morning just to go right back to sleep. Text everyone you already know you'll never meet. Dance alone around your room and get down to the beat. Wanna change the world, 21 and feeling old. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the way. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Is it you that I'm connecting or reality projecting? Just a second, is my phone? Can we finish later on? Is it you that I'm connecting or reality projecting? Just a second, is my phone? Can we finish later on? Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the way. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just reality projecting. Just a second, can we finish? All just kids. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage.
White lights call to me, illuminate my city. And all I want to do is find a place where it will be so dark I can't see. I'll let the music guide me. I'll see through silence and follow it to some reality. At night I feel alive, and all the flashing colors fill inside my mind. I At night I feel alive, and all the flashing colors feel inside my mind. I breathe and close my eyes. The music animates me till I'm out of time. A paradise never turns to black and white. Let's make time to live on. For doing nothing. At night I feel alive, and all the flashing colors feel inside my mind. I breathe and close my eyes. The music animates me till I'm out of time. A paradise, and I feel alive, and all the flashing colors feel inside my mind. I breathe and close my eyes. The music animates me till I'm out of time. A paradise never turns to black and white.
Maybe I'm not sure, so why don't you change my mind? 'Cause baby I'm not sure, but let's take a chance this time. And I can't remember the last time I saw you cry. I don't wanna do it, I had to, you know it. I hate when we say goodbye. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know I'll do anything to come and see ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Yeah. It's already winter, and I'm starting to forget the smell of your hair, the taste of your lips. I wish I was there instead. And why is it bitter? 'Cause you're hardly in my bed. I'm leaving this place to come see your face. I'm not stopping till I'm dead. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You're always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. Always waiting there for me. Your loving's always set me free. No, no, no. 'Cause I'm coming back around. No, no, no. No, no, no. 'Cause I'm coming back around. You know I'm always coming back around to meet ya. You know when I'm all alone I really need ya. You driving to you on the back streets. All the other ones are asking, but I don't give a fuck, they nasty. I'm just trying to find you, cause I don't got no ties. We're running out of time, so I'll be home tonight. I'm coming home. Come right back to me. I'm coming home. Yeah. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Why would I leave you? Cause I need you here right now. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Wanna be with you right now. Cause I'm coming home. Yeah, cause I'm coming home. Yeah. Got me staring out the window. Only seconds till I get home. Then we can let go. We're going up to the bedroom. It's been so long, baby, and your love might save me. Cause it feels like I'm home and I'm with you. I'm coming home. Come right back to me. I'm coming home. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Why would I leave you? Cause I need you here right now. I just wanna see you, wanna be with you right now. Wanna be with you right now. Now I'm home with you. Now you're home with me. I'm holding you. Feels just like a dream. It was always true what you said to me. We were meant to be. I'll never leave. And now you see I mean it. It feels like home. You're right next to me. It feels like home. Home when I'm with you. When I'm with you, it feels like home. And it feels like home when I'm with you. When I'm with you, it feels like home. And it feels like home when I'm with you. When I'm with you, it feels like home. And it feels like home when I'm with you. When I'm with you, it feels like home.
You may think that I know too much, but no, it's never too much. Because when push comes to shove, girl, just trust I won't get sick of us. You my salty crush. I'm doing something different. Your name's been on my tongue. My cup's been looking fuller. You're picking by my walls, and baby, let's settle up. Cause lately the world's been going crazy, and I gon' need somebody to talk. Saltine and ginger ale, that shit will never fail. I keep it tucked on my body cause I don't feel well. Girl, tell me something else. Saltine and ginger ale, that shit will never fail. And you may think that I know too much, but no, it's never too much. Because when push comes to shove, girl, just trust I won't get sick of us. Hold up, simmer. Comfort queen, my squeeze at night. Who opens up this packaging's too tight, ho, whoa. And know you got it like that. Bring it on back, cause you got it like that, ah, yeah. And know she got it like that. Sometimes desserts are best when last. Or your daddy gonna beat my ass. Yeah, baby, oh. Boy, shoot if I can get enough. Spill twice, never wipe it up. Pump the brakes and let these walls sip the house if you're feeling enough. 10 spins to your own job. Side tea with the sweetest cup. And you may think that I know too much, but no, it's never too much. Because when push comes to shove, girl, just trust I won't get sick of us.
So this video will be in two parts. I'm going to leave some timestamps so you can go ahead and skip some parts if you are not interested in it. So the first part is going to be about my 2021 reading year, and the second part is going to be about my goals for reading, but goals for the channel as well. Let's get into it. So for 2021, I gave myself a goal to read one book every week, which totaled to 52 books a year. I did not achieve that goal, unfortunately. I was very confident that I could, but for some reason I did not. I finished my year at 44 books, which in itself is a very successful year for me. I got back into reading with the Hunger Games trilogy when it got out. I was around 24 years old, so eight years ago. And at that time, I read about 6-7 books a year. And that was a lot for me because I just stopped reading for a long time. And then when March 2020 came, I was looking up for reviews and discovered BookTube. And from that point on, I just really got into reading. I thought I was into reading before, but yeah, it was a great discovery, and I'm really thankful that I got to be in this world. So in March 2020, I set myself a goal of 15 books for that year, since I was starting the challenge in March or April, and I didn't know how many books I was going to be able to actually read. I did end up reading 29 books that year, and that's the reason why I pushed my goal in 2021 to one book every week, so 52 books a year. I'm actually really happy with my 44 books. Overall, it was a very good reading year, and I've never read as much. I can't be unhappy with that. So all throughout the year, I was participating in the Buzzwordathon, which is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. If you don't know what that readathon is, every month there's a buzzword, and you need to read as many books as you can with that buzzword in the title of your books. It usually runs from the 1st to the 7th of each month. Personally, I don't do that because those are busy times for me, because I'm usually filming my wrap-ups and my TBRs, and it's just too much to deal with and rushing to read books. So I decided to actually do the buzzword throughout the whole month instead of the first week. And some of the buzzwords, I actually got to finish the books way later in further months. So overall, I wanted to look at my full buzzword year and see what I actually accomplished. So in January, the buzzword was dreams, and for that prompt, I read Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I finished that book on January the 30th. In February, the buzzword was colors, and for that one, I read The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. And I finished that book on February the 27th. In March, the buzzword was time, and for that prompt, I read This Is How You Lose a Time War by Amal El Mottar and Max Gladstone. And this one I finished on April 3rd. So I didn't finish it in March, but I still finished it. So that's still a win for me. In April, the buzzword was space. And for that prompt, I read Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon McGuire, which is the third book of the Wayward Children series. I finished this book on April 5th. In May, the buzzword was home or house. And for this prompt, I read 2 books. The first one was Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I finished this book on May 23rd. And the second book for this prompt was The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. And I finished that book on May 30th. In June, the buzzword was a name or a title, and for this prompt, I chose Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I finished that book on June 29th. In July, the buzzword was last, and for that prompt, I read The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell, and I finished that book on December the 16th. I know it took me a long time to read that book, but I did finish it in 2021, so still a win. In August, the buzzword was time of day, and for that prompt, I chose The Night of the Mannequin by Stephen Graham Jones. I finished that book on August 9th. The buzzword for September was dark, and for that prompt, I chose Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. And for this prompt, I had to read 2 books because Our Dark Duet is the second book of this duology. The first book is This Savage Song, and I didn't read This Savage Song before, so I had to read that one in order to read Our Dark Duet. And I actually finished Our Dark Duet on December the 30th. It was a close call, but I still managed to read it in 2021. For October, the buzzword was elements, and for that one, I chose Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria, which I finished reading on October 31st. In November, the buzzword was lost, and for that prompt, I chose The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, and that is the first book of the Heroes of Olympus. Unfortunately, I did not finish that book. I am still reading that book to this day. And finally, in December, the buzzword was day, month, season, and for that prompt, I chose 8 Perfect Hours. I stretched a little bit that buzzword because I didn't want to buy any new book, so I tried to make hours count in this prompt since it was also a time measurement. I finished that book on December 28th. So overall, throughout the year, there's only one prompt that I didn't accomplish. So I actually succeeded in reading 1 book for every prompt except for one. So 11 out of 12, which is a very great success in my opinion. And I even read 2 books for 1 prompt. So that's a win for me. I'm not going to list all the books I read each month, but because I don't think it's that relevant, I'm not going to go into details into what those books are about either, because I have wrap-ups for that. So if you're interested in knowing what books I read every month, you can go check out my wrap-ups. I have a playlist on my channel, so you can watch all of them there. For those of you who are interested in some stats, here are the ratings overall this year. So I had 1 half-star read, 0 1-star read, 1 1.5 star read, 1 2-star, 3 2.5 stars, 3 3 stars, 4 3.5 stars, 8 4 stars, 1 4.5 stars, and 20 5-star reads. So that's a lot. I was actually really surprised to see that I had 20 5-star reads. Either I'm way too enthusiastic with my reading, or I'm choosing the right books. I don't know, but I'm actually really happy. And overall, I can say that I read really great books this year, even if I did have a couple of them that I really didn't like. Overall, most of them I really enjoyed. So I'm actually really happy with the books I chose. I also have 2 books that I did not rate because they were nonfiction and I didn't feel comfortable in rating those books. So those 2, I did not give any rating to them. So I read a total of 44 books, and in page count, it goes to 16,936 pages. That count is based off the numbers I had on my physical books, but also the numbers I had on my reader. So it's maybe not that accurate because I know that e-readers often have like a higher page count than the physical books, but I preferred counting the pages that I had, if that makes sense. Regarding the type of books that I was reading this year, I had 19 ebooks, 4 audiobooks, and 21 physical books. I'm actually really happy with that because I do have a lot of unread ebooks on my reader, and I try to always have at least 1 or 2 ongoing reads on my reader and the rest as physical books. Audiobooks, I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of them because I don't enjoy audiobooks. I only enjoy them for nonfiction, and lately I have not been in the mood to read nonfiction like at all. So I can understand that low number, and I'm not really bothered with that, honestly. But I'm really happy to know that I read almost as many ebooks as I read physical books. So that is my year in 2021 reading wise. I was very happy with my reading year. I think I really did the best. I think I had great books, great reads. I really enjoyed them, and even if I didn't achieve my goal of reading 52 books, I still read more than I ever read in my life. So I cannot be unhappy with that. And considering that I have 2 jobs now and I'm a teacher and everything that's going on in my life, I think it shows that I am still taking care of myself and my own mental health, and that just makes me happy. Hey everyone, Editing Audrey here. I wanted to add a little something because I'm doing this little montage with every rating and every book with that rating. So you can see in the video visually what rating I gave each book I read. And as I'm editing my pictures, I'm seeing that I have a lot of ratings that were rounded up, mainly because of Goodreads. I don't usually put reviews on Goodreads. I usually just put a star rating, except if I have some arcs, then I will be posting a full-on review, but I don't review all of my books on Goodreads because it takes a lot of time for me to write them all down. But since Goodreads don't have like half stars and quarter stars, because I do tend to try and be the most precise as possible, I ended up having 20 5-star reads, which I think is way too much. And as I was putting together all of the books, I gave 5 stars. Some of them probably should have been 4.5 instead of 5, but I rounded them up, and there's way too many 5-star reads. It's impossible that all 20 of them were 5 stars. If I have read maybe 100 books, maybe that would have been more plausible, but I read 44. So half of my books being 5 stars, I find it hard to believe. And as I am looking at those books, I do feel like some of the ratings are not quite accurate. So they're probably rounded up or down. So yeah, I'm just thinking of how I'm going to change that in 2022 so that I have a better tracking and accurate tracking of the ratings I give to my books. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is, but I am going to make a tier ranking video so you can maybe better understand my favorite reads. So yeah, watch out for that. I also forgot to do my top 3 and bottom 3 reads of 2021, but as I said, I'm going to mention them in my tier ranking video. So sorry for that. Enjoy my little montage. So now to my goals for 2022. So reading wise, I have multiple goals. First of all, I kept my goal of reading 52 books a year. So I'm still going to try and aim for 1 book every week. Since I got 44 last year, I'm pretty confident I'm going to achieve 52 books this year. I'm on a roll right now of reading, so I'm very confident. And I also really want to finish reading the series I've started. In 2021, I started a lot of series and I just want them to be finished. I find that if I don't finish the series, first of all, it bothers me. I want to know what happens next. And if I take too much time between the first book and the second book, I tend to forget what happens. And that's something that happened to me when I read Beasts Made of Night by Tochi Onyebuchi. I read that book in 2020 and I tried to start the second book of that duology and I just couldn't do it because I didn't remember a lot of things that happened in the first book. So I'm going to have to reread the first book in order to read the second one. So my goal is to actually finish the series I started so I don't get confused in the stories and I don't forget details about them, and I can just have closure with a series, if that makes sense. Another goal I really want to do is to reread my favorite books. One of my rereads I really want to do is the Hunger Games trilogy, because I do want to read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Is that the title? Anyway, the fourth book that just came out, the prequel to the Hunger Games that talks about President Snow. I really want to read that book, but in order to read that one, I'm going to reread the Hunger Games in whole, because it's been such a long time since I last read them. I think it was in 2014 or 2015. So it's been a while. I want to reread them, and yeah. And the last goal I want to do reading wise is try to read the oldest books from my TBR. I'm not going to go on buying bans. I don't believe in that, because I know I just want to buy as many as I can before or after the ban. So that makes absolutely no sense to me to do that. And I really like to treat myself with a new book when I can. Right now I have about 60-ish unread books on my TBR card and my reader, and I just don't want my oldest books on there to just lay there and just stay unread. I don't mind adding up to that pile as long as there's a rotation of books, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to prioritize books that have been on my TBR for the longest, as much as possible. For my channel, I don't really have big goals, except that I want to get ahead of things and be better with organizing my schedules and my filming, editing, and all of that. I have been behind for like at least 2 months editing and uploading my vlogs. I hate it. I hate being late to things, and I am still struggling to make everything work. So I just want to catch up on that and be on time and not be late on my editing and uploading, and be a little bit more consistent with my content, if that makes sense. Because I have a lot of ideas. I'm very creative of things that I want to film, but since I'm always behind editing and everything, I just don't film any new videos because of that. And by the time I actually end up editing and uploading some vlogs, then it's time to get my TBR and my wrap up again for the next month. So I feel like it's a constant struggle. So I'm going to push a little bit harder at the beginning of the year so that I can catch up on every video that I'm behind. And hopefully that will allow me to do some more creative videos, and book tag videos and coloring, some more book covers. I really loved making that video. It's one of my favorites. And since I'm an artist, I love coloring. So hopefully I can do more of those videos, but those take a lot of time to do and prepare and plan. So I really need to be ahead of everything if I want to do more videos like that. So that's my main focus in the beginning of 2022. Other than that, I'm not going to set myself any goals of having X number of subscribers, because I feel like I don't control that part, and I don't want to set myself any goals on something that I don't control on. So I'm going to set realistic goals that I can have control on, if that makes sense. I do have also some goals for my Etsy shop, and I do want to get ahead of that because I was behind on my Etsy shop as well. There's a lot of things that I want to do, some new products I want to put there, and I want to redo a lot of my photos, and there's a lot of work to be done. So I want to get ahead of that and basically be in control of every aspect of my life. I can't, obviously, but as much as I can control, I'm going to try to get ahead of things, because it's been chaotic and a real mess, and I just want order in that mess. So let me know in the comments, how was your 2021 reading year, and what are your goals for 2022? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate when you watch. Like and comment if you want to. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in another one. Bye!